going to talk to you about the Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet is a diet that does not rely on restrictions, does not rely on you can't do, does not rely on a whole host of things like that. Unlike diets like the keto, carnivore, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, any of those kind of diets where the short term, and many of them, is reducing, losing weight in a short period of time. Therefore, they're only really meant for the short term, get you back looking svelte for, say, your high school reunion. Whereas the Mediterranean diet, on the other hand, doesn't do that. It's all about taking your diet and making it a lifestyle. Something that you do because the ingredients are available, the climate is available, the community is conducive to it, everybody eats it, and it's something you eat every day, and there are no real restrictions. So therefore it can be thought of as a long-term solution to your eating problems, because it's one of the diets out there, one of the few actually, that have very little in the way of negative implications to doing the diet. For one thing, it relies more on fruit and vegetable forward, and it relies on reducing your red meat, pork meat intake, but increasing your poultry and seafood intake. And it relies more on reducing sugary sweets and drinks for something more natural, and also increases your fiber intake through legumes, pulses, and through whole grains, which is something that here in North America we do not do. We do not do that very well. And tonight I'm going to show you an example of how you can incorporate some of the methods of eating into your diet. There's type of eating, I should say, into your diet. And that involves adding grains to your dish. In this case, it would be kind of sort of a bowl kind of a deal. So what I'm going to do tonight is a chicken thigh, which will probably need to be deboned. And skin taken off, because I'm going to pan fry it and then cut it into pieces for the bowl. And I'm going to do farro. Why farro? Well, it's a grain. They call this pearlized farro, but it's not 100% whole farro, but it's what I could get at Winco. So I'm going to do half a cup. Actually, I could have just used a quarter cup. I'll just leave this in here. Pearlized farro should take more than 15-20 minutes to cook. And I'm going to do that with some chicken stock. And I know I have a little bit in the refrigerator, but I don't have enough. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get some farro going. There, that should do it. Oh, I'm going to throw in a little pinch of salt. Probably didn't need to, but I figure using 34% less sodium, so just a pinch might be enough to help. To the Mediterranean diet, as I'm cooking, some of the things you need to look at when it comes to different grains that are considered grains. These are whole grains, which means they have not been pearlized or semi-pearlized or anything of that nature. The husk is going to still be intact. Wheat, rye or rice, brown, barley, oats, quinoa or quinoa, wheat, sunflowers, millet, amaranth, corn, flaxseed, sesame seed, and farro. Farro is an ancient grain going back hundreds of thousands of years. But be that as it may, it's that and things like grains or legumes, dry peas or dry beans, canned beans would be fine, pulses, and anything that is starch. Now, one thing that is a real problem, and that is diets like keto, they avoid all sugars, and that includes no fruit. That does not include fruit, I should say. Result is many fruits have natural sugars which are actually fine. The Mediterranean diet is, if you eat enough fiber, get exercise, and what have you, it can actually reduce some of the problems that many of us have as we get older. It might reduce blood pressure, but it will definitely reduce diabetes. At least it'll reduce it to the point where medication won't be necessary. Because what it will do is it will, and it can, I think, also reduce your it can also reduce your your cholesterol, or at least change it to where it's LDL cholesterol, which is, I believe, the good cholesterol, rather than the HDL, which is your bad cholesterol. But all of that can be corrected through a diet. Now, I've been using olive oil for years because it's one of the best oils you can be eating, along with avocado and a few others. But one thing that in America, we have a tendency to eat too much in the way of highly processed oils like corn oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil. Some are better than others. Unfortunately, people are following the general, regurgitating what some are saying. All vegetable oils are bad, which some are better than others. But the problem is that the more highly refined vegetable oils, I think, tend to also have omega-6 fatty acids. And the problem with omega-6, while we need some, we don't need as much as we need of the omega-3s. And it's been, I think, proven to cause health problems down the line. And what's happening is, in America, we're eating too much highly refined oils, such as that in our day-to-day lives. Some oils, like peanut oil, are great because you want that distinctive flavor. That it provides for things like French fries. That maybe perhaps a little bit of beef tallow might just, you don't need a lot, you just need enough to kind of impart a flavor profile that used to be real prevalent in McDonald's French fries. And that is how you do a Mediterranean style bowl. It's got protein, which is the meat, protein probably in the beans some, and the farro, which is the fiber, along with the beans. Fiber is a really good thing because it goes through your system, but it doesn't get absorbed. Therefore, it'll slow down your digestive system, which can, over time, reduce some of your digestive problems. But that's an example of one of the many things that you can do to increase and improve your health. And no, it's where my But you notice it's not the Mediterranean diet is not necessarily vegan or vegetarian, but it can be. It's how you want to make it. But that's the basic gist of the Mediterranean diet is more vegetable or fruit and or fruit forward. So with that, I'm finding I'm feeling better, but I'll feel a whole lot better once I get this ventral hernia taken care of next in a couple of weeks. It's just some of, I think, what you end up with as you not only age, but when you've had a colonoscopy surgery the year before to remove a blockage and a precancerous mass that's within that blockage. So the easiest thing to do is to cut out part of the colon, snip it back together, or stitch it back together. And the hernia, which had been there a little bit beforehand, is now really bad. So I need to get it taken care of before it becomes really, really bad. And it'll just get worse. So I'm getting it done now while I'm not working. Meanwhile, dinner's getting cold. Gotta go eat. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified. It'll do this channel a world of good, and I'll see you on the next one.